time frame should you study for the CPC test so you're not crammed with everything? Well, if you get the CPC Blitz, that is g
A week?
yeah, um,
No,
you
I think
it's
that
really
was
hard to
exceptional.
get the CPC Blitz
I
done in a week.
I
2
think that
weeks,
was
though.
exceptional for Sandra, but
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
that means she was
yeah,
committed. In other words, we want to nicely say is Sandra doesn't have a life. No,
Sandra
obviously,
took she took her
yeah,
vacation. That's what she
there
did.
you go. There's oh, that sounds much better. Sandra doesn't have a life.
Yeah,
She could take a whole week and
no.
get that done. Um, but on average, it takes about 2 weeks. It's about 80 hours of is it 80 hours of lecture? I can't remember what it was. Even if you don't watch the videos in the Blitz and you just bat your CPT manual, I mean that takes time, but it can be done in increments
Mhm.
and once you get the hang of doing it, it's not like you're looking at something and doing it real, and page by page. No, you know, it's a
I
technique that you're learning.
I do want to clarify something here. So what time frame should you study for the CPC? Is this somebody who says, I want to be a coder and they're going to take
Oh,
the CPT test? You're talking 4, 5,
about
6
4 months.
months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically 16 weeks is typical
Hmm.
a time. But
Hmm.
if it's knowledge you have, or maybe you took a college course 2, 3 years ago, or you did some AAPC study a couple of years ago and you just never completed it,
Yeah.
then you're looking at maybe your 2 weeks. But yeah, you don't want to cram. You want to take your time, and definitely not the day before. You don't do anything the day before.
No. No,
You
that's in the Blitz. Tell you,
you
you bring
relax, you take a bath, you do, get your nails done, whatever.
right, and
Whatever.
you want them to be nice and pretty when you're bubbling in those. If you take and a HEMA too. A HEMA's test is online, and the AAPC's tests are all paper.
Paper.
So it does make a difference, and not just for the CPC test, whatever type of coding credential you're going for. But we usually tell people it really depends what your background was, like Jennifer said. On average, if you are very committed and you don't have a lot of, you're not a caregiver, you don't have children or taking care of a parent or full-time job, things like that. 4 months is doable, uh, uh, but I would give myself 6 to 8. Um, for you don't know, you could be on a skateboard and break your tibia and fibia, and you're going to be out. You
And
could
your
go on.
wrist, you can't turn the pages, so.
That's right. And you have to consider a few things too, like when are you starting? Are you going to have Christmas vacation? You got like if you're going to start in the fall, you got some major holidays that might interrupt your study time. It's still wonderful to study in the fall. Um,
I
because
know.
if you're working, you usually have a little vacation time for your
Mhm.
studying and stuff. But you have to think about, you're not going to be able to study if you have all your family over for Thanksgiving. So,
I know a lot of people try, and especially this time of the year, it's August, September, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I got to take that test by the end of the year so I don't have to buy new books.
right.
Well, make sure you have plenty of time to study,
Think of
and it
that.
takes 8 weeks to schedule your exam, remember, like four
That's right.
weeks. You need to schedule your exam prior as well, and
Hmm.
schedule that follow-up exam just in case. So you
Hmm.
need some time to lay that out too. But
Hmm.
tip, don't stress yourself out, because they will change the tests in 2020. Yeah, that's the next year. Yeah, 2020. So they will change the test, not January, February timeframe.
Hmm.
Um, not too many chapters offer exams in January, especially if they're in
Hmm.
snow states or something.
Hmm.
But you can still use a 2019 book in 2020. You
For a
can.
month.
You may not, you may miss some answers because they might throw a new guideline or a new code out there. So you might miss that one, but that's the
Hmm.
risk you take. But
Right.
you can. So
We
don't
we
let
tell
somebody tell you you can't. You got to get
Right.
it
We
done.
tell
You
people
know.
not to do that. If you're
Yeah.
asking our opinion, we would say, don't, because a lot of people miss the exam by they get a 68 instead of a 70. So that means
Hmm.
that question, because you didn't have updated manuals, do you want to take that risk?
That's your one. Yeah. Yeah.
However, like Jennifer said, you can use a 2017 if you want. They won't tell you no, or they shouldn't,
They
but
shouldn't. Yeah.
yeah, as far as the AAPC is concerned, they don't care. However, why would you do that to
Yeah.
yourself? You're paying a lot of money. Anyway, so that's a good
Yeah.
question.
Do you need more medical certification and business training? Learn more at www.cco.us.